that's back up in western Oklahoma. Here, comes right in the heart Turner area.
Central Oklahoma, headed to Enid. National Weather Service has said that's the most unstable area, but we got a big storm coming at us. It's got multiple tornado warnings on it. So we should be right in front of it here in about 15 minutes. Look at the paper map, you know, I'm going to have to look at a regular map. So we're about 15 miles north of Enid, E-N-I-D, Oklahoma.
Yes, clear.
I mean, this is another explosion of updraft right here too. Tornado risk on that storm. That's near Medicine Lodge. What's going to be interesting here is that we're going to have another storm merger up here. And once this storm merger happens, this is the only storm that's going to merge with it by the looks of it. That'll increase the potential for a tornado by probably 10 as that moves east towards Anthony, Kansas. That's another storm to watch.
Yeah, we developed 4 figure 6 east and west. Right.
Actually, see this hook wrapping, by the way, on the
Okay.
supercell. So this
Can
right here will be where the
you
tornado
zoom out
is.
so I can see how far we are from that? Get us on the
That
map.
would be your tornado right now,
We're right
Black
here.
Serpent. Just east of Cedar near Oklahoma.
We're in central Oklahoma. Yep, central Oklahoma, 15 miles or so north of Enid. Trying to get in front of this big supercell that's merged with several others. It's got several tornado warnings on it right now. It's already produced several tornadoes. I think there might be one on the ground now. I'm not sure. But we should be right in front of it when it comes through.
Mostly because of these storm merger. So we have this storm merger that's about to happen. You're going to see it on this reflectivity scan probably. It's pretty close to doing it, but this is where the tornado would be. Got another storm.
The National Weather Service has said this is Enid, where we're headed to, for the next hour and a half is the best place for a tornado to form. When it gets here, it's going to be, I hope it's not rain wrapped, but the storm itself is going to be pretty bad.
This is going to be near Dakota. Very rotation is just off to the west of Dakota. Dakota's probably being this morning too. We're this morning seek shelter away from windows the lowest point possible. Interior room, or building. I'm guessing there'll be a tornado in a moment from the north side of Dakota.
About 10 miles north of Enid, Oklahoma,
We'll shoot here in any second.
which is northwest of Oklahoma City, probably about 60 miles. The storm we're getting in front of has got at least 4 tornado warnings on it right now.
Looks like the roof of the house. That rotation's pretty strong on the northwest side of Dakota, Texas. By the way, thank you, Jennifer, for the $100 donation. I really appreciate that. That's from the chat for Jennifer. I just want to thank you. Again, I appreciate any super chats and efforts or anything like that. I'm probably not going to respond to a lot of them with all the tornado points, but I do appreciate your generosity. Very generous. Still waiting on the tornado pretty near Texas. I don't know how long we're waiting for them. It's going to be an issue with that late. Guaranteed. Maybe not. If you are near Dakota, though, I would seek shelter because that rotation is right over Dakota, Texas. If there's still a tornado on the ground in Oklahoma, that is again where we would be. We have a storm merger happening here, so the chances of there still being a tornado is pretty low. But it's definitely not impossible. It's from east, northeast, northwest. Well, right now we got multiple storms in this area.
We should be in front of this supercell here in the next 10 to 15 minutes.
That is right now for damaging winds of 60.
It is tornado warned.
There is a tornado possible.
Actually, it has 3 tornado warnings on
There's a
it.
tornado. 100% heading towards that storm. It's likely there'll be something coming out of that at some point. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. There's no tornado warning here in Dakota. The rotation is back over west Dakota, Texas.
crosswinds out here today on the ground.
You hear the severe thunderstorm right outside shelter. They forgot to issue, but it's right over here. There you go. This is your new tornado warning for the summit of Dakota, Texas. Seek shelter immediately away from windows, closed door option. On the north side of Dakota, Texas.
We're in central Oklahoma, about 60 miles northwest of Oklahoma City. Front of this supercell that's coming out of Woodard, headed to the north. It's already got 3 tornado warnings on it, and it's already touched down at least one time.
It's not really going into Dakota,
It's a double S
but
curve.
Dakota Hills and as well as the Belcherville area of Texas are included in this. Warning that's back over here in Texas. I'm not sure if they'll continue with the rotation. It's pretty broad and non-precip near Helion. They're going to probably continue this as at least a severe thunderstorm with hail and wind. We have a large severe thunderstorm warning for Indeed in Ponca City in northern Oklahoma that are damaging winds up to 70 and 2-inch sized hail.
I can believe that. I want to look for a bank company.
Pretty funny.
They're rerouting me to Perry. Reroute me on that one up there to Perry.
Back up here in Kansas. I've been saying it for a long time, but we have a storm merger happening here. I do think this tornado risk will increase as this moves east and after the storm merger happens. So after the storm merger, the direction eventually will increase. Stephen Hill storm was just canceled out though.
We're about 10 miles north of Enid. We're going to reroute. They're expecting 70-mile-an-hour winds here. I've already got dust blowing up in the fields. So if you see something dark on the ground, that is actually dust being blown up in the fields in front of us over to the right-hand side of the road. That's how much wind we got out here right now.
Alright, we're back down to radar indicator.
You
Rotation.
should be able to see it right now. All that dark on the ground is dust. The Weather Service just put out a warning for 70-mile-an-hour gusts right here in this area. Oh, I can believe that. Whoa! Whoa! We got to check the wind here. That was had to be at least 70 right there.
I would say right now, Enid, I'm not super, I don't know. It depends on if the environment here can, cover it.
Well, that was a gust and a half that hit us right there.
I don't know if we're really going to see that significant storm.
Let me go over right here.
Like coming from
know. We're gonna check the wind gusts here.
This storm out front of it, I feel like that's going to use a lot of its energy, and I think the tornado threat should be lower. I don't think it'll be zero, but I think it'll be lower in nature.
Sure, straight and slow.
That were destroyed and homes damaged in Mutual, Oklahoma. So it's the first of damage reports that we are getting.
Come on around towards me.
So 2 barns were destroyed and homes damaged again in Mutual, Oklahoma. That is where we just had a tornado not too long ago.
This way.
That was again back over near the, just west of Fairview, is back over here east of Woodward. Unfortunately, there's been some damage reported there.
Okay, we got. And that was about 32 miles an hour right there. Oh, took the back of his barn door off. Look at it.
Oh my gosh.
We got damage right there on that barn. He's got whoa, here we go again. All right, you gonna check it now?
Yeah.
Sorry.
37, 39, 40.
This is the one that dropped tornadoes earlier, so we had 2 tornadoes earlier. Thank you, David, by the way, for that. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that was about 48 there. Let's see, which way to go from there?
Take a left.
Man, wind. We're getting ready to get slammed with this storm. Where are we at? No, this is Palm Creek, ain't it? Noah? Palm Creek. We're gonna check the wind speed again. Oh man. Hold on. You ready? Let me know when you're ready. Alright, right up here. I'll pull up right up here. Did turn towards me. Turn it towards me. North. That's enough. We got water coming in.
Yeah.
Whoa! We're getting ready to get slammed with this storm right here. This may drop some. Right, well, all the way through this guy's head here.
Nope.
He just has a back wall not back there. We're in Pond Creek, Oklahoma. We have crosswinds here hitting 48 to 50 miles an hour. Oh man, hang on.
Hold on. Let's see if we have any photos or videos of this.
We're gonna sit right here just a minute. I thought I saw something going on.
Again, this could be a tornado at any time inside Dakota as it does move to the east-northeast. Also, the storm here Leon and Dublin. I don't think it's really an imminent tornado threat. It looks more like a Hamlet wind. Still happening there in Kansas. That should
We got about 48 mile an hour gusts right here. You can hear the flags out next to me. Let's see if we got any rotation here near us. What is this road take us? I guess straight south. Which way should I go?
You should have gone to
Let
the
me
left.
reroute here. We still going down. Where are we getting?
We're
Perry.
heading to
That's what we're at. We're trying to see how we can get away from this storm. We're trying to get away from this storm and get to the south side of it. Clear?
yes.
We're near Enid, Oklahoma. We're right in the middle of this storm coming through, but we're still ahead of it. The worst part of it is actually behind us about 15 miles. We're going to try to get in front of it to the south. We've got crosswinds of at least 30 or 40 miles an hour right now. Midwest city is in relation to where we're at. I can't look because I'm having to drive in this wind, and we're trying to get down to the south of the storm. I know we're about 45 miles due west Ponca City. Oh man, this wind. Oh. Woo. I'm not a bad driver, it's just the wind I hit every now and then, and it hits pretty hard. So we're near Enid City, headed towards Perry. I don't know if we're going to make Perry. This thing's right behind us. Wind we've ever had to drive through. Oh man. We got at least 40 and 50 mile an hour gusts hitting the side of the car. I was going to England, so I think it's next right. What's that up there too? Yeah. Where I turned to go to eat.
In 2.6 miles, take a right to go to East.
The same place to go to Perry. Damage report. Is that it? Alright, let's go.
Great positioning, so we only have to know about the overall costing for us.
We're in north central Oklahoma. We're right in the middle of a merger of two big supercells. They did have several tornado warnings on them. We've got wind gusts of at least 48 is what we've been able to register. Tornado warnings or tornado watches out in this area, and there's supposed to be a good environment for tornadoes to form.
This is the latest NatoCast outlook, which again, it's an experimental tool. It's computer generated. It's not human forecasted. This is where that storm would be heading towards, just for the record. I mean, again, getting very precise here. I would not take this that seriously, but so far these probabilities again have not been far off from what we've seen. And we got a lot of, I mean, that was a highly driven scenario where we would have storm splitting from these storms here, and we've had that this entire time. So, pretty impressive how accurate that's been. These are the storms that are all back up in northern Oklahoma right now.
We're going to go back this other direction.
Increasing the potential.
We don't want to get too far south.
2 inches in diameter, 60 mile per hour damaging winds, and there's still a tornado possible label on that activity. Even though the chance of a tornado here still remains low, it's definitely not zero. And then the storms back over here. Hazelton, Sharon, this is the activity that Connor's on that could try to get tornadic. We'll see. Spot right here, screen. We'll go back to it in a moment. Tornado warning that's back down in Texas, again, looks a little bit more concerning. It's a discrete supercell trail along
yes,
the river.
we are storm chasers.
Right here, going towards Leon and towards Highway 76.
Subscribe to my channel. You'll be able to see all the videos. This has been a pretty active year.
I don't know what exactly our plan is for being live yet for tonight. We're about 4 hours in. Still feeling great. But we might be live all the way until 2. I don't know yet. Kind of depends on how things go. If we're not live until 2, we might split the stream into 2 parts at some point down the road. That's still hours away probably. We might do even like a second stream for the overnight. We'll see. Not sure yet. Depends on how things go here.
So we're just north of Enid. We're headed back out to the northeast now. Because I don't think we're going to be able to get south of this storm. And I think it's going to reform.
That's the Discord. The link's in the description.
one headed to Ponca City, Oklahoma. Ponca, Oklahoma. Ponca City's on the east side of 35. We're on the west side of 35. We're actually headed to Winfield to try to catch up with that other storm that's tornado warned right now if you got a radar. Just went over us. Good possibility there's a 4 out of 5 risk of tornadoes today in this area, and this is just the beginning of it. Trying not to get too far east. The further east we go and the closer we get to 35, Interstate 35, the bigger the towns get, and then it's going to be hard to maneuver inside of them. But we're currently headed to Winfield.
So far, this has been in that sort of ballpark, at least from the perspective of Western Oklahoma. I mean, there's still other areas. I mean, there's definitely been a lot of severe weather, just not the tornado threat basically has not panned out to be as forecasted so far. And with that said, again, we are still talking about a situation where these storms are in an environment where there will be very large damaging winds and perhaps even a few more tornadoes as this activity continues.
Trees on the road. I wouldn't be surprised that doesn't reform right there. Which one's on the field? I've been in emergency services for all my life. I was, before I moved to Tennessee, I was a county EMS director in the Panhandle of Florida and worked with emergency management on hurricanes. We hardly ever had a tornado down there. If we did, it was just a EF0, EF1. But hurricanes are different than tornadoes, because hurricanes, you know, they're coming sometimes weeks in advance. Got time to prepare for them, but tornadoes you don't. But I've been studying weather, I don't know, since I was in my teens, and particularly supercells and how high they would potentially get. We've come a long way with technology, radars, and knowledge to this point, and I still think we got a long way to go. The other thing about storm chasing, it's not really storm chasing, but people sit at home a lot of times and they know they're under a tornado warning, and they just try to watch TV and hope it doesn't come and hit them. You got to be more aware of the storms than that. You know, in Rolling Fork last March, when that big tornado hit Rolling Fork, Mississippi, many of the chasers were out, saw it on the ground, had it on their cameras, live feeding on YouTube. TV out of Jackson was putting it on the TV, and still a large portion of that town sat at home, took no action. And I sit there telling the person with me that right now people are dying because they didn't leave their home, and I think it was 26 or 28 died that night in the course of about 5 or 10 minutes. So tornado chasing starts at home by being aware and looking at, going outside and looking. The tornado that hit in Tennessee on the 8th of May was about 3 or 4 miles south of my house. And the people down there, when we got there to help and assist, most of them said they never saw it. They heard it, went to the basement if they had one, or went to the center of the house, but none of them was, and it was still light outside. And there had been already photos posted of it. I know I called, I wasn't at home, I called and got everybody, my neighbors, out of there. You only have to go 3 to 5 miles to get away from it if you know where it's at. So everybody ought to be a storm chaser when it comes to their locality. They don't have to go far. God, oh, lots of water in the room. Plus, I like videotaping. I don't necessarily have to see a tornado. This outing, just in the last week and a half, we've been in a derecho. We filmed 2 or 3 tornadoes. One that we've got some experts looking at the film, but I believe it had to have been over a mile wide with multiple vortices, which didn't even get claimed as a tornado that day up in Ohio. We've got the video posted because it never hit anything, which is a good thing. But if it doesn't hit anything, they can't rate it. If they can't rate it, they don't count it. So we got a lot of work to do on changing the way we rate tornadoes. And it's the thing about that big one that we videotaped on the 30th of April in Iowa. It was 5 miles south of the town that last Tuesday Greenfield, Iowa, got hit, had a direct hit. It was 3 weeks and almost to the hour that we filmed the other one in April when they got hit. But we've got some, these can look very impressive on video, just filming them without a tornado. So we've actually got a portable automatic defibrillator on board. So we've got, but I just tell them it's for me, just in case we really see that big one that's coming right at us its way. I may have to shock myself. Matter of fact, talking about what these storms can look like, I think I'm gonna, if I can find a place right up here, I'm gonna turn and let y'all see what's coming at us looks like. So this is kind of like what I like videos, when these big supercells come through, the cloud formations on them, particularly if they're rotating also, looks pretty impressive. So this is what's coming in behind us. We're actually ahead of one of the storms, headed back over towards 65. This one's got some hail in it and some high winds, but right now it's not tornado warned. But you can see it's a great picture, and we've been able to get some great videos. So we'd videotape this for about 15, 20, 30 minutes if there was nothing else going on. And when you speed the speed up to 3 or 4 times, you can see the whole progression of the storm as it comes towards you. But we got to bug out because we've actually got a storm north of us that's got several tornado warnings on it.
We're clear.
But if we wasn't going to a tornado storm, you can see how picturesque this is if we could sit here and videotape it.
We're clear if we go now.
So once we go forward, you'll see some lightning, and that is the storm with the tornado in it. But storm chasing isn't easy. So far today, we've had to change a wheel bearing for the second time in 8,000 miles. 2 tires that were brand new 6 weeks ago. So we got 2 more new ones on the rear. You just never know. I've been very lucky to be able to find local mechanics in different towns, just by word of mouth, talking with people that got us back on the road within an hour, getting that wheel bearing fixed. Probably the longest thing was getting the 2 rear tires put on at Walmart today. But those guys are great. I can't say anything negative about Walmart. They've always been Johnny on the spot with us. And most of the people out here in the Midwest appreciate storm chasers. There's a lot of spotters out here, but none of them that go live on YouTube or report directly to the Weather Service or are part of the spotter network, which I'd certainly encourage everybody to go get trained as a spotter and join the spotter network so you can report directly to the weather service. So, right.
Straight. In 3/10 of a mile, you turn right.
I don't even know where we're at. What town are we in?
Uh,
Most of the time, I have no idea where we're at. No, I haven't seen the dead man walking, and I hope I don't. Probably that one that hits Greenfield, Iowa. Reed Timmer had some real good video on it because it had.
take a right here.
Do I need to get gas?
Yes, you need to get gas.
Alright, I gotta get some gas real quick because I almost ran out the other night in the middle of nowhere.
We're in Medford.
Be right back. So speaking of storm chasing, this year so far, just since April, because I took several weeks off this year, about 14,000 miles on the road. The vehicle we're in, especially, I fixed it up just for this. Be sure if we were way out in the boonies, we didn't break down. You'd be surprised how much mechanic stuff I got in the trunk. And I got 2 tires on top, extra tires. And the rolling fork tornado we changed, I had to fix one and I changed 2 tires in the course of 3 hours. When stuff's blowing across the road, you're going to run over it. When you run over it, you're going to get a flat tire. Tires I had changed today were under warranty. We're not sure what was wrong with them. They were good tires, but something was wrong with them. So you got to take all that into consideration. Plus, if you do it in your regular vehicle, do you really want to be called outside with golf ball size hail or bigger and mess your good car up? So if you're going to do it a lot and every year and spend a lot of time on the road, we've actually got some hail shields that we put up. The one on the back we keep back there all the time, but if I needed to, I got one that goes on the front, and it should handle up to baseball size hail. much harder to get a windshield fixed out here than it is to get a tire fixed. The other vehicle we used, which was similar to this one actually, we were in the Panhandle of Florida in January, chasing storms. I was about 15 miles away from my hometown actually, and a big oak tree fell down in the middle of the road, and we totaled our car. About 5 minutes later, 3 more come along, and all 3 of them didn't see it, even though I was sitting there with our amber lights going. They never bothered to look at what was in front of them, and all 3 of them hit the tree and totaled their cars out. So that lightning up in front of us over to the left side is that storm is tornado warned right now. We're trying to get over in front of it. That ain't gonna stay good. That one ain't gonna stay on. Okay. So we stream, if you're interested, we stream on one of our phones at this point in time. I haven't found a better video camera yet that would give us as good a video or streaming without spending $3,000 or $4,000 as the cell phone that we use. We also have 6 GoPros in the car, 4 forward, 2 in reverse. Right now I've got about 60 or 80 hours this year of video I've got to edit. So what you see on the stream, I've got, matter of fact, if you look at that tornado video from Iowa, that mile-wide one, that was actually not part of the live stream. We took that video from the GoPro cameras. A camera in the hands of a human tends to make mistakes. You video the wrong stuff, you're going to be jerky about it, and you won't keep your camera on what everybody wants to see. That's why we put the stationary GoPros in, and the GoPros stay stationary on whatever we're seeing that is of interest. They stay permanently on it. Now, if there's other things going on around us, we try to film that with the streaming video, so you can see what's going on other than us just trying to explain it to you. But for going back and editing the event, let's say like that big tornado and everything that happened with it, because that was, to date, that was the largest tornado we videotaped, and it was the most fascinating thing we had ever seen. You have to watch that whole video, and particularly the last 3 minutes, to see what we're talking about. It takes place over a 3 to 6 mile area of open fields, and I've never seen anything like it, to be honest with you. But anyway, that's what we're doing as far as videotaping, to be sure when we do see something, we capture it. Sometimes we don't even see it until we go back and view the film footage, especially if there's a lot of lightning. If there's a lot of lightning, it blinds us just like it would anybody else, but for some reason it doesn't white out the cameras. The cameras pick it up, but it won't white them out. I've been as close as 400 yards to a large tornado in Broken Bow, Oklahoma one night, and didn't even know I was that close until I reviewed the video, and I said, oh my God. But that's the only video of that tornado at night that night, and with all the lightning strikes going on, I just couldn't see. Every time a lightning strike hit, if they were all so close, it was just blinding me. But I got some good video out of that. South Australia, Wales. houses down there. So we're headed back to the east now. We're headed to Winfield, Oklahoma. Try to get in front of this tornado warning storm. The good thing we got open roads out here, and they're all straight. And I love the speed limits out here. This road at home in Tennessee would be a maximum 50-mile-an-hour speed limit. Out here they're 65 to 75. So we can make pretty good progress. We are in Tornado Alley today. But we've seen probably as many tornadoes in Dixie Alley, Mississippi, Alabama, that area, as we have out here in the Midwest. The problem with Mississippi in that area and Kentucky and areas like that, there's just so many trees, you can't see the darn things till you're right up on them. Or they're right up on you. That big one that we posted the video on a couple of days ago from Iowa, I'd say that one was probably about 6 miles from us across open fields, where we could actually be able to video the entire supercell that was dropping it and all the circulation in the sky, in the mesocyclone, and in the tornado. Plus we were able to pick up the RFD and the inflow across the fields, which again, that's the part that getting pounded with hail we had to bug out. I tell you, one of the things is everywhere gets tornadoes, but I think, you know, in Tornado Alley or Dixie Alley, but it seems like the tornado formation is different in certain areas. I thought I wouldn't be happy chasing in Iowa, but the tornadoes in Iowa take on a much larger and different structure, more so than the ones that we see in other states. We've seen some that have, you know, we've been in states where they only last a couple of minutes and 10 miles or less most of the time. And then there's other areas and times of the year, like November is a big time for Dixie Alley, as well as February and early. And those tornadoes seem like they're short-lived a lot of times. There has been long track tornado outbreaks like 2011 and other years, 1974. But most of the time, those tornadoes are short. in Tennessee how we figure out how big a tornado is. We throw a chicken up in the tornado. If it comes back down with some of its feathers, it's only an EF4. If you throw it up in the tornado and it comes down with no feathers, it's an EF5. With salt. You got to get close enough to it to throw the chicken up in it. And if you survive, and I don't know to, but it's getting awful dark here. The wind's picking up again. We're getting close to that storm. It's tornado warned. I bet the wind outside the car is probably blowing 15 to 25 miles an hour right now. Which means I got to put both hands back on the wheel. Any tornado is bad. I didn't see this coming. We're getting ready to have a lot of rain, not a lot of hail here, and a lot of lightning in just a minute. I don't know if this thing's reforming, getting bigger. So we're about 10 miles or so west of Ponca City, Oklahoma, ONCA. If you got a weather app on your phone, you can see the storm to our north of our location. North of, I'll give you another city here in just a minute. It's headed for Winfield. It's headed for Winfield, Oklahoma. We're paralleling it right now, but right up here in front of us is the interstate. We're going to jump on that and go north. And that should get us in front of this storm. We can get up in front of it. Well, we don't want to get in front of it, but if we get up here to it, we're going to be coming into the south side of the storm. So if there is a tornado, we'll be able to see it better than we would from the north side. You know, I don't know. I don't have a theory on why the tornadoes are different in each area that we've seen them. You know, there's been a debate, and I've certainly been criticized myself. You know, did you really see a tornado because there was no correlation coefficient, no circulation in the storm on radar? Well, we've come to find, and that have done this for a while. I've seen tornadoes come out of storms that not storm warned, nor did I see any circulation on my radars, and we still saw one come down. Tornado predicting is not an exact science. If it was, we'd be able to give everybody plenty of notice. But I've seen them drop down and pick right back up within 3 minutes. And that was something that I didn't realize until I started actually chasing and seeing a bunch, that they can drop and pick right back up within just 90 seconds to a couple of minutes. What are we going to be on? Already? Wow. We're a mile from turning north on the interstate. We're going to be coming in to the bottom side of this storm. If it's got a tornado in it and it's visible, we'll be able to see it. We're going to get there before it crosses the interstate. How far? It's going to get hairy here in a few minutes. We're driving right into this storm. It's tornado warned. Well, it was tornado warned. I don't know if they still got a warning on it or not. We'll be in southern Illinois, southern Indiana tomorrow. This storm we're headed into, apparently it's had a touchdown. There's been some damage. We should see the lightning and the rain pick up here in just a second. storm in front of us and back over to the left side of the stream. We just got on the interstate 35 at Blackwell. We're headed northbound. So we're probably about 2, 3, 4 miles north of Blackwell on I-35, headed north into this storm. Next exit would take us to Arkansas City if we got off there. But we're going on north. We're going to get off the exit in Wellington, and that ought to be about the time that storm intersects us on Interstate 35. We're northbound in Oklahoma, north about 100 miles north of Oklahoma City, headed toward Wellington, and we got a big storm coming from the left side of the camera stream that should cross this road in front of us here just any time, actually. We can see it. I unfortunately can't see as much on the live stream as we can see looking out all the windows. Passing the Brahman exit. The closer we get, the closer you can see the formation of that big storm in front of us. About 2 exits from that storm. We're getting ready to pass South Haven's exit here in about 1 mile. Next exit will be Wellington. Driving north into this storm. It was tornado warning. Now I think it's just got some hail, maybe some damaging wind. I'm not sure. So far this year, I haven't got a crack in my windshield since we designed these hail shields for the windshields. Yes, we are. We've been chasing. I've been doing storm stuff most of my life. I even did disaster assessment, damage assessment for a decade. Was in emergency management and an county EMS director down in Florida for a while. And now I live in Tennessee, and I've got some time on my hands to be able to get out and do this when I'm not working in the ICU. We put about 14,000 miles on the road this year since the 22nd of April to now. I'm not sure about this storm in front of us. It looks like it's just falling apart on the radar. You have some days like this. Some days when you don't expect much, you have a tornado outbreak, and other days when they're expecting a tornado outbreak, it's kind of a bust and you don't have a lot going on, and it actually occurs either further north, further south, further east. It just goes to show you, even the experts don't know sometimes. So we can get on that interstate back over that way. Almost to what exit we close to? Wellington?
Yes.
Wellington's exit's up here in front of us. We're beginning to get some of that rain from that storm in front. The radar's showing it's kind of falling apart. Exit here before we have to get on the toll road. We're going to go up here and turn around and grab the interstate over towards Tulsa. Because I think these stores are going to still develop, maybe even redevelop as they move east. Storm looks more impressive on the live stream than it's going to be. It's pretty much falling apart in the last 20 minutes or so. still got a little bit of rain in it and wind. These storms are moving very fast. Yeah, we're going on. Oh, that's all right.
I don't think it's really any rotation. I think there's rotation, but it's not.
Right here. I'm going to try to get you a better view of this storm. Like I said, sometimes these storms look pretty impressive, even if they don't produce a tornado or tornado. Well, we're going to go right here and get to where we can show you this this storm. Look. So as you can see, it's already past the interstate, the leading portion of it. We still got some lightning in it. Most of it's off in the distance over to the right of the screen. And it's moving pretty fast. This whole area is still under a tornado watch. These these storms are producing 60, or this particular storm up to the north is producing 60 to 70 mile an hour winds in Wichita and Goddard area. We experienced that down to the south when it came through Enid area, and it was pretty strong. It was hard to keep the car on the road. But this day hasn't turned out to be quite as productive on tornadoes as they were initially expecting. And but that happens sometimes. Better to be safe than sorry. And the ingredients were here to actually produce those things. So I may turn around here. We got another one, small one developing here right behind this one, coming right at us. Getting ready to get hit with something here. I'm going to back up and see if I can't show you the other side of this storm of what's headed our way. Because a new little storm developed just to the southwest of us and is headed this way. I'm going to go back over the interstate where we can get a better view of it. And it seems like it's intensifying. It don't take long for these storms to intensify in this kind of environment. 10 or 15 minutes they can go from not being on the radar to dropping a tornado. So we're going to just pull up here somewhere and find a good spot that we can get a good look to the southeast. The lightning in this one coming at us. We've even got a wall cloud on this one coming at us. We're going to get up here on the hill and turn back to the south. We got a wall cloud on this one. That one developed really quick. Look at this. We're going to get up here on the hill. See if we can give you all a good look at this storm that's starting up from the south. If you've got your radar and you're looking at the one that just went north of Wellington, look at the little red dot just to the south west. So we're going to, this thing looks pretty impressive for just a small. Anyway, from our vantage point, I can just find a place to pull over here. I don't know how we're going to get where I need to be to show you all this. This actually looks pretty impressive. Let's see if I can get our camera turned. And I'm not going to be able to. Did you see a pullover? Let me see if I can find just a little. We can just get a little bit of a turn here. Oh, here we go. We're not going far. I can't get it all the way around, but you'll see it. Well, maybe I'll just take it off. I got reflection somewhere.
Is it this?
Could be. Yep, that's it. There we go. So this actually looks, this actually looks pretty impressive. It doesn't look that big on radar. So this is, let me get the radar pushed out here so you can see which one this is. So the one we're looking at is that one right there.
Here's the latest outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. So again, that moderate risk now includes northern Oklahoma, western Missouri,
That one right there. And doesn't look impressive on radar, but it does look impressive here because we do have a actual wall cloud developing over here. If I can get the let's see our setup here. So we got several GoPros up in the windows. We've got my radar over here on the right that gives us a broad, and then we've got radar scope here. So all the red dots are spotters. I'll turn them off for a minute. Let's see.
If you want to go check out the other trails I've posted in there, you can answer this.
So this is radar scope, which we use to look for rotation. I'm currently using that radar site, and then we can
Put the link to the Discord server.
try to zoom in here.
In the chat, and if anybody who hasn't joined yet, you should join our Discord server. Lots of stuff goes on in there, including really well written.
But in the bottom portion of it, it would show us any rotation in these storms. We'd have to zoom in a little bit more. Let me try to get it on the one that is actually coming up here to the south.
It's a fun place to be, even when we're not live. It's kind of like the chat, like always, you know. So very cool stuff over there. We currently have no tornado warnings at all.
So,
but we do have this little storm in Kentucky, and I think that maybe.
so this one's going to develop. It's going to get bigger than that before long. And so my radar gives us a little bit better view of it up here, right there. And it actually looks pretty impressive out there right now. So that's it.
Yeah, there's storms in Kentucky and West Virginia. Bigger storms over here in Oklahoma. Nothing over right now. Thank you guys for sending in stuff. Some of you guys sent stuff to tips@all.com.
But these are the storms. All of them's moving pretty rapidly through this area, and as quickly as they form, they blow through. And then this, here comes rain from that one that I just showed you. Didn't look big on radar, but it's going to be pretty potent once it gets here. We're gonna sit here just a minute. No, we don't drive in tornadoes. I think Reed must have hit his head at some point. He asked me the other day if we were going to intercept the one we were on because he was going to intercept the one he was on. No. We're getting ready. So this is that little storm. Didn't look like much on radar, and we have very little visibility. It looks better on the live feed, as all the other chasers tell you. For some reason, the live feed always looks better, but we can't see far outside the windshield. You know, for those who get excited watching people drive into tornadoes, you need to be out here just one time in the middle of it. As much as I've done it, the Dreco in Kansas the other day that we got called in had me a little worried for a few minutes. I didn't know if we were going to make it back across the dam at that lake and get it back up to Wilson, Kansas in time to get out of the hail and the wind, and it had already dropped one tornado. That one got a little hairy. On top of that, we lost our windshield wipers in the middle of it and lost all visibility. So it does get intense sometimes. But I don't drive into tornadoes if I can help it. The other thing I'd let y'all know, the ones that are watching the radar right now, we're sitting right at the interstate 35, where you get off to go to Wellington. So if you see that storm on radar, you'd think, oh, well, it's a few miles from them. It's down to the southwest. But radar is 5 minutes, and sometimes as long as 10 minutes behind what you're seeing. So when you see it come across your phones on the radar, we know for a fact that radar is 5 minutes behind, because we have been in some serious weather because we forgot the radar was running 5 minutes behind before we actually visualized it, and the storm had already hit us and almost passed. So you saw the rain coming, and you see the storm out there in front of us on the live stream, but if you look on radar hadn't updated yet, and it still looks like the storm is still on the west side of the interstate, when in fact the storm has already crossed the interstate, and we're looking at it on the live stream to the other side. So people don't realize that. So when you're watching TV and they're drawing this, path of towns that it's going to impact, if you're in the first 5 minutes and they say you're going to get hit in 5 minutes, that storm or that tornado or whatever it is already there. So whatever time they say it'll be at your community in 30 minutes, assume it's going to be there in 20 minutes.
The radar is 10 minutes behind today.
Cheeto clouds here. Some Cheetos. Cheeto colored clouds. We're just looking at your still water.
Yeah, so we're gonna sit here just a minute, just to make sure. I mean, the radar, we're still trying to evaluate it here, but
Hey, Cassidy, Mark, no information. Oh, no, you're good. Oh, you're fine. People ask me all the time. I really don't care. I thought most people do, honestly. But no, most people actually don't know, which is surprising. No, guys, being sarcastic, but like, I see people ask me in chat, I'm not fun. Cheetos with flavors. Normal variety, I guess. Okay, this is a video. Fielding on Twitter.
yeah, like I said, my radar, I like it because it gives a real nice round edge look at where the storms are at. And but it still runs 5 minutes behind, as do all of them, because by the time the radar sweeps, it gets picked up, it gets transmitted across transmission lines to wherever it goes, that it gets uploaded back to the app. You've lost 5 minutes. And today we've noticed that it could be as much as 10 minutes behind. So with that said, it still shows the storm being off to our southwest. And we're going to sit here a minute, but I'm pretty sure that was it in front of us.
There's another one coming.
It is going to be favorable. Actually, we're going to be headed back towards, we'll be in south part of Illinois and Indiana tomorrow. It's a 3 out of 5 risk factor right now. Generally, even with just a 3 out of 5, sometimes even with just a 2 out of 5, those areas we have found produce a lot of tornadoes with just a little bit of risk factor put with them. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't go up to a 4 out of 5 tomorrow, but we'll just have to see. But we are going to leave this area tonight, and we'll be driving probably most of the night, at least midnight, to get on the other side of St. Louis and get into southern Illinois. Oh, great. So you know southern Illinois and southern Indiana is really a lot of farmland and a lot of good places to chase over there. If you do see something, you can see it and generally get some pretty good video of it. That's something.
No,
Put that down. Look.
no, it's another one.
There's one back here. That little one.
The little one is on top. And then on top of this, and that's not.
All right, so we may have another one coming, so we're going to sit here, like I said, a few minutes, because they're supposed to be developing in this area up until 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then they're going to move more out to the east. Generally, if we chase Illinois, we do the I-64 corridor from just north of Louisville up to Seymour, Indiana, and then back across all the way to I forget the place in Illinois, but that's been a good corridor to be able to catch nice views of the storms, and if there's any tornadoes. We actually filmed one. We thought it was closer to where we were at. I think we're in Mount Vernon, but I believe it was Belvedere where they said the tornado was actually at. The Weather Service did when we sent the video into them. But if that was the case, then we were filming it some 15, 20 miles away and was getting good nighttime video of a fairly large tornado that hit the Illinois side of the Mississippi. So when they come across the Mississippi at Lake Gerardo and come into southern Illinois, generally they intensify, and generally that's when they drop tornadoes. Actually, the first tornado I was ever in was just south of Decatur, Illinois, when I was a little boy, and they drug me out of bed at about 6 years old and took me to the basement, and my uncle had a lot of damage on his farm up there just south of Decatur. We're actually from the Nashville area. Tell you one thing I can't get used to storm chasing up here in the upper plains is I've got to have a jacket at night, and it's almost 1st June. We were in North Platte the other night in Nebraska chasing those storms right there at the Colorado border, and after they come through I had to go find my jacket.
It's losing its red one. That bigger one. It's getting
If you do get a chance, go on our go ahead and hit your subscribe button and bell so you'll know when we go live. But go look, hit subscribe and go look at my other videos. But look at that large tornado that we videoed on April 30th in Iowa, just 5 miles south of Greenfield. And Greenfield was a town last Tuesday that took a direct hit that had those people killed and almost devastated the entire town. We were only about 10 miles from it. We got caught in a second storm with a tornado in it, and spent the next 20 minutes after that one touched down trying to get away from the other one until we got over on I-35 and headed south to bug out of there. That was an impressive tornado on film. I think Reed Timmer got the best of it with a drone, but that was a very bad tornado. I'm not surprised at all. I used to do damage assessment for hurricane, flood, tornado damage, and based on what I saw, I thought it was an EF4. They came out originally with an EF3 rating, but I'm not surprised at all if they went back. National Weather Service upped it to a EF4 based on the damage and houses taken down to ground level, and trees totally, uh, all the limbs being tore off the trees. One thing I notice on tornadoes, if you see trees or even telephone poles and they're broke in half at 10 foot off the ground, that was some pretty strong winds that come through there. Big trees can be uprooted easily, particularly if they've had rain a day or two before. But if there hasn't been rain and trees are being broke in half at 10 feet off the ground, that's significant winds that can break a tree at that level. Yeah, so this little storm's coming through. This will probably be it for us tonight once it comes through here. But we got to get east, get ready for tomorrow. I think we may even have better luck. If you're going chasing tomorrow, I think we're going to have better luck tomorrow than we did today, just because of the environment that's going to be existing down in Illinois and Indiana. I know the level 3 out of 5 goes all the way down to Nashville, but I really believe the tornado potential is going to be more up in southern Illinois, southern Indiana. Is that past us? No, because that interstate going. Which one is that one? It's It's not parallel interstate. Wait, is that it?
Weather Falls.
We're gonna go down here. We're going here and check whatever that rating is. Right there. 77. So,
Oh, you know, it's the different. Do you know what bedrooms are?
You got it? You redo it? Take
Kansas, Missouri.
the road thing here now.
Is there a road?
Well, there's a road. Right up here on the right. No, we're not going there. We're going back to 81. Alright, I think we're gonna bug out and try to head east. This is gonna be an early morning chase tomorrow, starting before lunchtime. So we gotta get over to the east. Dan, where you been, man? We're getting ready to end the stream because this is over with here in Oklahoma. And we're gonna head to Southern Illinois tonight and be there tomorrow and in Indiana to chase tomorrow morning. Wellington, Oklahoma right now. Waiting for this little storm to blow through. But we got gas. That's a good thing. No problem. This turned out to kind of be a bust today a little bit. They had a couple of touchdowns, but nothing in Oklahoma like what they were anticipating having. We may have to sit here a minute and let this storm blow through. We're not sure what time we're going to go live tomorrow. Everybody's talking about this thing ramping up. Well, there goes the Doppler radar. So the University of Oklahoma had their Doppler out here today, apparently, because that's what just went by. But nothing turned out to be like they were anticipating. So tomorrow they're saying it may be an early morning thing, but I'm not sure yet, to be honest with you. We haven't checked yesterday's mezzo discussion. All we know it's a 3 out of 5, may even go up to a 4 out of 5 for Kentucky, Indiana, southern Illinois, southern Indiana, part of Tennessee, western Tennessee. But we'll post something in the morning. If it's going to be early, we'll post something. But I know I'm going to have gas after that little scare the other night in Nebraska. Whew. Since that chase in Nebraska, we've had to change a wheel bearing, 2 rear tires. Second time we've changed that particular wheel bearing in 8,000 miles, which shouldn't have occurred. I think the guys that put the last one in didn't quite put them in correctly.
We might be live all morning and all afternoon, basically, and possibly evening. We could legitimately have like an 18-hour stream tomorrow, but I'm not going to try to pull that off. It'll probably be something more reasonable to if the storm. So my plan right now is for tomorrow, I will probably wake up right around 9 or 10 o'clock. Am I balding? Excuse me? But by 9 or 10 o'clock, I'll probably wake up around then, Eastern time. And I'll look at the radar, see if there's concerning stuff. If there is, I'll wake up and get a stream going. If not, I'll sleep in, and we'll wait for the evening front. You actually, $5 super chat. Is there any chance Missouri will see a tornado with 2 tonight or tomorrow?
No, heat lightning is. How can I give you an example of that? What you're seeing in front of us is more of cloud to cloud lighting. It's just some, and I'm not as up on it as probably Hank is. If you ever watch Hank's videos, he does a lot on lightning. But I'm originally from Florida, and when it gets really hot down there and there's a lot of moisture in the air, you'll have heat lightning. And that can happen. Well, another good example of that would be Arizona. I used to have to go to Arizona about once a month, and when you see those big spider web flashes of lightning in the sky, that a lot of times that's heat lightning. And but it takes a lot of heat, a lot of moisture, it doesn't happen that often. Florida, I've seen it in Arizona. But like I said, I'm not up on ground-to-ground lightning or negative volts versus positive volts. I know a negative volt, I believe, goes from clouds to ground, and positive volts goes from the ground to the clouds, which are much more potent. And my understanding is the way you can tell the difference is a positive bolt, and don't quote me on this, you can take pictures of it easier. Negative volts from cloud to ground aren't necessarily as, I won't say as bright, but they don't last as long. Positive volts look like they just sat there and, flash for a few seconds. Probably on, because I was going to ask somebody on that video that I did of the broken bone tornado.
Very strong tornadoes, very easy. So these are very safe, certified as well. And it's ESP tornado shelters going to be. I'm not going to be live through the night, but I will. But my plan again is that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sitting here just looking at a paragraph on heat lightning. Like I said, I'm just not up on it. I would watch some Pecco's, scan Pecco's Hanks, some of his videos on lightning. He actually got to name a lightning phenomenon that happens above the clouds. Um, but he's more up on that than I am. And he does a very good job explaining it. Plus, he's got some pretty good videos, too. Oh, yeah, the lightning bolts from the ground to the clouds, to me, are the worst because they're originating on the ground side. And I may have that backwards. That may be negative volts, but I'm pretty sure it's positive when it goes from ground to the clouds. Those can be pretty intense. Like I said, you need if you watch the video that I've got, I think it's tornado intercept, raw and unedited. Which is that is a good video to watch with the lights turned down and the surround sound turned up, because it'll feel just like you're sitting in the car with me. But that was the most lightning I have ever seen in one storm, which was cloud to ground, as that tornado came past me, and it was pretty intense. Literally, that was the most lightning I've ever seen. And being from Florida, the lightning capital of, the United States at least, that's saying something. Really.
Just popped up.
Where did that come from? How far is that away from us? So we'll never make it. Perry.
I see the latest radar scan. I'm going to check the velocities. If they don't look too crazy, I don't want to continue to stretch for long. If it's a little crazy,
Yeah, we won't make that. They've just put out another tornado warning here, but it's 70 miles away. We'll never make it before that one goes away. I don't know. I don't claim to be an expert on this. I'm not a meteorologist. If you need your EKG read, analyzed, interpreted, and recommendations given to a cardiologist for what needs to be done, and he make the final decision on treatment, I'm your guy. Because that's what I do. But as far as being detailed meteorologist type stuff, I'm not that. But the big thing that we have found being out here looking at storms you'll get used to what you're seeing is either going to present something or not present something, or it could be, something that's going to develop down the road and you need to follow it a little ways if it's not moving too fast. But, telling you the technical details of why a storm's doing what it's doing, I'm not your guy. But I'll certainly videotape it, be out here, experience it, and document it. And by the way, we provide all our videos of anything that's important to the National Weather Service so they can analyze it on their end, because generally all they see is the radars. A lot of times they don't see what's happening on the ground, so we always contact them, such as that big tornado we videotaped up in Iowa, and we provide them the raw video for internal use for evaluation and training. And that's just being, courteous, because they supply us information as well. There's a lot of lightning in this little storm. All right, you guys, stay safe. Those that's going to be chasing tomorrow, have fun. We enjoy what we're doing. We're not out here to try to get, killed, but it's better than sitting on the front porch waiting for your next bowel movement for something to do. And change the pace from working in the intensive care unit. So, y'all have a good night. I think this is pretty much over with for Oklahoma. Any storms that pop up at this point probably just wind and hail, because we got a drive and a half to get over to southern Illinois for tomorrow. So look forward to seeing y'all next time, and hope to see some of y'all out here chasing with us. Be sure to subscribe, though, and go look at that Iowa tornado. That's a pretty impressive video. More impressive if you'd been there. And we'll see you next time.